Welcome back, my butts and mashers. It has been 2 weeks now, and we are finally back. It's me, NatesLegend, your host, as always. And today I am joined by Chaz, actually. So Scott and Jay are both off today. Mental health, well, they wanted an extra week, and I'm not going to tell them no if they need a little extra time. So they're off doing their thing, whatever else. So we have Chaz joining us today. How are you, my man?
Dude, I am good. I'm glad that you mentioned it was mental health stuff or whatever, because I was about to say those bastards, but that was bad timing.
We took last week off specifically. Yeah. I mean, for a few reasons, but just mental health. You don't want to get overworked, whatever else. I had some plans because I'll be frank with you guys. It was my anniversary, so like I want to spend time with my wife.
How dare you, man?
Right? Like, how dare I? But nonetheless, I believe both of them just have things going on today, needed a little extra time to relax and recuperate. So we do wish them the very best and hope that they, I don't even want to say recover, because they're not recovering from anything. They're just making, they're just chilling. They're just chilling. All right. Nonetheless, I'm getting very distracted. All right, so Chaz, I brought you on today. What talk about your gaming preference? What do you like to play?
I'm more of an RPG kind of dude. Stories or video games that are much more character driven and story driven rather than like gameplay mechanics will always win me over usually. So the more I can explore the map, the better off I am.
That's fair. That's fair. What if anybody that's following Chaz on Twitter should be able to kind of keep up with his video game habits. I know you've recently been through God of War, Mass Effect, kind of some of these shows that we've talked about on the show, and we haven't brought you on yet. So hoping that your experience and your active Twitter stance will help us out here. We know which game you've been playing. Follow Chaz. He's fantastic. He's a great follower on Twitter. Definitely. Which helps if I throw this up there. All right. So Chaz, where else can we catch you? So you're playing video games, but you host a few different things here. So where else can our viewers find you?
Well, Gaggle of Geeks, with Patrick. It's Jay producing that, and we've had you on too.
Yeah.
We've had everybody on
Batman. Watch all the Batmans with you guys.
Yeah, dude. That's I think that's on Patreon. But yeah, I'm over there. And then I do my own podcast, Over and Under Artists Exposed. So that's been kind of hit and miss lately, but that's because of, like you said, everybody deserves a break. So
exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that. So Over and Under Artists Exposed. Tell us a little bit about your podcast. What do you do there?
I just talk with other creatives, just about the process of the creating, the journey. So the highs and lows, and gets to really know them as people rather than just as the object of being an artist. So it's good stuff, man.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great channel. I absolutely love listening to it. It's great background, just nice, easy listen. So yeah. I wanted to make sure you had a chance to plug there. But let's take a moment here. We get to brag. So I needed another Gaggle of Geeks. Someone on the show here, and both, Jay Scott being gone, whatever else, I needed someone. So we have Chaz here specifically. Big celebration. We just passed 1,000 followers on Instagram. And on the same day, I'm totally coincidentally, also passed 500 likes on our Gaggle of Geeks page on Facebook as well. So things are escalating. So mad props to Gaggle of Geeks and everything that you and Patrick have done there, Chaz.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. Patrick puts a lot of hard work into it, so it's nice to see that pay off.
He does. He's responsible. I mean, every week he's helping me out as well. He's the one that does our backgrounds. He put together like our intros and pretty much everything. Patrick has been fantastic.
Yeah, and he's just been super busy, especially the new show with him and Natalie on it. I'm just like, how do you have all this time?
Right? Like, oh my goodness, just and the quality of all of his work.
Yep.
Like I think that's what I have to point out the most is like, yeah, he's putting himself into a lot of different things, but the quality, man, mad props to Patrick. And we love you, Patrick. Thank you so much for everything you do for us. And congratulations. It's been a lot of hard work, especially on your part. So, yeah, just wanted to point that out, man. Like, it's been a journey. So, all right. So we got our celebration out of the way. I do have, if I can find my mouse here somewhere, I do have one more surprise for you. So we have one more guest. He has been on the show before. It's been a few months at this point. The Duke himself, Mr. DukeMumford. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are both the two of you doing?
Great, always. It's I get to hang out with, like, talk video games for the next probably hour or so. I mean, it's the best day of my life, right? Like, come on. Yeah. So, Jeremy, let's talk about you for a few moments here. Sure. A couple reasons why I brought you on. One, I just love talking with you. You're a fantastic person. Just want to make sure that you know, getting your exposure as well, because you just started your own YouTube channel, or at least you started posting a little more there. Tell us about your channel.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those who are familiar with me, for what I do on Twitch, most of what I do on Twitch is music. I play Rocksmith. It's a, Guitar Hero, but with a real guitar. But I'm also a gamer, and I wanted to be able to do a little bit more of that. So I figured YouTube was the right place to do it. So my YouTube channel is just video games. I do kind of like vlogs of what I've been playing over the last week. They kind of skew review-ish, but really it's just, these are things I liked or didn't like, or cool things that happened, or weird things that happened, whatever. So they're very like train of thought, unscripted. But yeah, I put a lot of work into them, and that's kind of what my YouTube channel is right now.
They're really fun. I also had a chance. Just yesterday, actually, I watched every single one of your YouTube channel, your videos there. Aren't a lot out right now, but they are fantastic. If you get the opportunity, highly recommend checking out the channel. Again, it's at DukeMumford, pretty much across the board, but the link tree there as well. So let's go ahead here. And all right, so we've come in, talked about us a little bit. Let's talk video games. Now, E3 is coming up this week. It starts next, Friday, I believe, the 12th. Is that Friday? Saturday. I don't know. It's
Saturday the 12th.
Yeah. So, all right. So fantastic. We have E3 now. At the beginning of every episode, I always ask it kind of an icebreaker question. We have our think about it question. Anybody else that has answers to this, please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. So guys, I asked you already, what E3 game are you looking forward to the most? Let's start with Jeremy. Let's go with you first. What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah. So E3's been kind of weird, the last few years, is like Sony does their own thing and Nintendo kind of does their own thing. So really, like, the only presence you talk about at E3 is like Ubisoft, like Square, and Microsoft. So that being said, I'm really looking forward to hearing hopefully anything really about Starfield. Like, the Bethesda acquisition is like one of the most insane things to happen to the gaming industry in a really long time. And here's to hoping that, they actually, like, I don't know, finish Starfield or really any Bethesda game. But I am looking forward to see like what happens there, and also just kind of hearing like more about the future of Bethesda. Like, maybe we'll get a Fallout tease. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'm interested in finding out if this is going to be is it going to be an Xbox and PC exclusive? Are they going to go ahead and pull the trigger and kind of go back on that promise that they made, or is this going to be available for every platform? Is it going to be available PS4, PS5? That's the news that I would want to hear out of Starfield. So personally speaking, of course. All right, Chaz, what about you? What are you looking forward to the most out of E3?
Dude, I'm a slut for Ubisoft. I love their games for the most part. So
they have their issues, but
they have their issues. Yeah, I expect they're going to be announcing some DLC stuff for Assassin's Creed, and maybe what might be down the line.
Hopefully more season pass information. That's kind of been the rumor. I did not click on any articles, so I don't know if it was clickbait or not, but I have heard rumors that there was a leak that indicated there would be more DLC information available, and you can probably find that information online, but Again, I didn't click the article, so I don't want to give you guys fake news or anything here. That's not the goal of the channel.
I hope so, man. Because that game, it was fun to play that game while watching Vikings at the same time. See the connections of characters. But after watching the show, I'm like, dude, they could do so much DLC for that game. Like Viking lore is so deep.
It really is, especially with the way they did it for like combining the mythology to real life and the way that they merged it. There is so much more you could do. I mean, is it right? It's got to be right here. I mean, you have a whole book that could just be written into a complete story. This is personally my favorite Viking themed book, but that's neither here nor there. Neil Gaiman is fantastic. But yeah, they have all these stories that you could easily tie in. The story was already very fairly accurate to the actual mythology. They did a great job sticking to it. So yeah, there's so much more they could do. And I would love more on that DLC that cost $40. Yeah, it was a rough one. It's this, y'all. If anybody that's watched the show knows my gripes with Assassin's Creed at this point in time, it's been a journey. All right, I know I'm talking a lot, but I'll go ahead and give you guys my my takes as well. I'm not sure if you can tell from tattoos, my background, my blanket, Batman. I'm all things Batman. Gonna go ahead and throw this up there. Just immediately commenting, "Yup, all things Batman." Jay, thanks for joining. All right, so I am looking forward most to Gotham Knights. I want to hear a little more about that. What's kind of what's going on with it? What are we planning? But I also want Suicide Squad. I'm very interested in seeing what Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League actually brings. Is it going to feel like all the Arkham games? It's made by Rocksteady. Is it going to feel the same? Is it, I want to see more. I definitely want to see more there. So not bad picks, gents. Absolutely fantastic. And I love it. We are going to go ahead and move on. Again, I know it's just a lot of me talking, but we do have some not so breaking news. Guys, it's been 2 weeks. We weren't here last week, so there has been a lot of news. I'm gonna start by asking you two: is there any news that comes to mind over the last 2 weeks that that really pops to you?
Go ahead, Chaz.
I haven't been paying attention, honestly.
Oh, there it is. No, you're good. You're good.
So I'll look for something real quick.
You're good. I have one bit of news specific for you, and I've already hinted at some stuff there, but I have one specific for you. Don't you worry. We'll get there. Jeremy, any thoughts?
I've been thinking quite a bit about Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Zero Dawn is like one of my top 5 games ever. I bought it on the PS4. I bought it for PC and replayed it on PC fairly recently. I'm very excited about Forbidden West, and it was very cool of them in their most recent state of play to show, I mean, it's hard to say how much of that's going to make into the game, but I'm super excited. It seems like they took a lot of little elements from other notable open world games like Legend of Zelda, for example, like the glider. Those tiny little gameplay changes I think are going to be pretty huge, and as long as it retains the same award-winning formula of gameplay, world building, and just compelling monsters that are robot dinosaurs to fight. I am super excited about Forbidden West.
So did you like the first one then a lot?
I loved it. I think the first one's a masterpiece.
Nice.
I haven't had a chance to play it. Okay, so since we have it brought up here, talk about the game a little bit for us. What's the generalized story? Because again, I didn't catch the state of play, if I'm honest with you. I've never played this one. I just got it downloaded. But tell us a little about the game.
I'll try and do it in the most spoiler-free way possible.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's kind of hard to there's some really big moments. Basically, humanity is really primitive. People have the people that are around you, they use spears and bow and arrow and things like that. Yet there are these gigantic robot dinosaurs all around you, and most of them are hostile. And so, I mean, that's kind of the setting for the world, and it's hard for me to say anything else. I mean, Chaz, have you played it?
That's completely fair.
I played maybe 2 hours of it, and the controls threw me off so much because I like switching from game to game, like the controls will always be different.
Yeah.
You know? So the games
sure.
are so vastly different for me. I got really annoyed and I have not returned to it. But
You should.
I know my dad is playing it and he loves it. So
yeah. If you have it on if you I don't know if you game on PC, but like on PC, it plays a lot better than I think it does on a controller. But that's just
really
personal. Yeah, that's totally my preference. But you need like a real beefy PC because they went all out on it. And admittedly, it's not as well optimized. But yeah, that's the general like gist of the story. And there's a lot of things that like you uncover as you play it. But again, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. No, great review. Absolutely. I got it for free. I mean, you know, so we'll have to out of curiosity, is this a multiplayer game at all? Is this one that you could get in with your friends, or is it single player?
Completely single player. It's a single player open world RPG.
There you go. All right. Sounds absolutely fun. Go check it out. I mean, why not? It's a part of the state of play. So also, all right, so more not so breaking news. Speaking of, you know, PlayStation games here, because that's what, you know, I mean, whatever. We have God of War. So much drama surrounding God of War. Oh my goodness. What, like, okay. So first off, God of War is delayed until 2022. We'll cross that bridge in a moment because I have feelings. But also, so they started out, they're like, oh yeah, God of War Ragnarok, that is the official name. And then PlayStation is now backtracking. Apparently it was all it was an accidental usage, and the name God of War Ragnarok is not official after it became official. So, or reportedly official. So it's been a lot of drama for God of War lately. The biggest news coming out of it for me is, of course, that it will be delayed until 2022 because I am so sick. So over all of these delays. All of them. Next year is going to be the year for gaming. Like, let's be honest here. It's going to be great for next year, but you know how hard it is to run a video game show when all the video games are getting delayed? Y'all.
Dude, I'm reading too.
Okay.
They're gonna make it a PS4 game with the delay as well.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Probably because a lot of people can't get PS5s.
PS5, mister. I have 2 PS5s.
I don't have 2 PS5s. I
You
have one.
Good enough. That's good enough. That's one more than I have.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just brag it. Just rub it, you know.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on the matter here? The game getting delayed. Have you had a chance to play much God of War?
Oh yeah, I actually replayed God of War on my PS5. I played the PS5 optimized version like a month ago, and it's so much better. Like the PS5 handles that game so much better than the 4
So
did,
smooth, dude. It's so smooth.
Oh yeah, like almost no load times.
I host the video game show, and we all have the PS5s. How is this fair?
Dude,
no, I need a sponsorship. One of you guys, can we start a GoFundMe to get me a PS5? Goodness gracious!
I mean, you can get one. You just need to pay well above retail.
An arm and a leg. Donate your left genitalia. We'll
How much do you need one of your kidneys?
It wants my kidneys, y'all.
Yeah, above retail played once.
Yeah. All right, no, it's
that'll be $1,000.
I'm glad to hear that the PS5 is as pretty as everyone says it is. My PS5 is starting to go. Yeah. I got my pretty Batman one, but it's starting to go. I already get 4K HDR gaming on my Xbox, so it is definitely the PlayStation I'm going. But what really sets the PlayStation apart from really Xbox at this point, in your guys' opinion? Why the PS5 over, say, the Series X?
Jeremy,
like it's unquestionably like if you look at like Metacritic scores across for like the previous generation, like the top 20 games, a lot of them are exclusives, whether it's to Nintendo or Sony. There isn't like one. I don't think there's one single Xbox only exclusive that is in like the top 20 for like last generation, because there were no Xbox exclusives. They all ended up on PC. Like that's just how it is. And I can name 4 off the top of my head. You know, like there's Last of Us 2, God of War, which is soon allegedly not going to be exclusive. Ghost of Tsushima, like Horizon before it got ported. And that's just a few games over the last few years. Like the PlayStation, like Sony figured it out, like exclusives sell consoles.
Yeah, they really do. That's the same argument every time. And here's the problem with that argument, y'all. I'm gonna put the Sony fucking knows it. They know it. That's why they can do what they're doing. That's why they're making this so. Why they're going the Apple route. I've talked about this on previous shows. They're going the full Apple route. Everything's going to be restrictive because they know their exclusives sell their consoles. Sony knows it. That's the problem.
But it's a bad thing.
Their consoles are like very well built too. Mm-hmm. Like I have zero. Like I had the PS4 base model, and the only thing that was going out on that was the fan got really loud.
Yeah, my base model got really loud, but that was 6 years later.
Yeah,
6 years.
Yeah,
mine just got loud. I have as mentioned, I have the Arkham Knight whatever version that came out 6 years ago. It's about 6 years before. I do want to point out that it is coincidentally going out the same time PS5 came out, and I
planned obsolescence.
It is. It's by design at this point. They're listening. They're watching. Yeah. They know.
Dude, that's such an Apple move.
It is an Apple move.
And I know everyone wants to like criticize like Sony for this Apple-esque approach, but like it's hard to deny that like PlayStation games aren't objectively, like if they're designed for the platform, that they aren't objectively better than their Xbox counterparts. Like it's one piece of hardware you're designing for. It's one studio that coalesces around one console. Like the PlayStation exclusives are totally worth buying the console. And I'm a PC master race guy. Like you guys can't see my computer here, but like it's a beast. Like I consider myself a PC gamer, yet I bought a PS5. I like went in line and, you know, like did some horrible things to get one. But at the same time, though, it's because like there are games I can't get there. And I think it is super cool that like Microsoft wants to be able to like going forward, every game that comes out on Xbox is going to come out on PC. That's incredible for PC gamers. It's not going to sell consoles. Like, there's no reason, if you have a PC, there's no reason to buy an Xbox, like, you know, Series X. The PC is just going to do it better.
It's 100%.
Just my opinion. One man's opinion.
I will point out. I don't know if I fall down rabbit holes from time to time, and I was watching I guess it was on Facebook technically, but I'm talking about, you know, can you build a PC for with the same specs as the Xbox Series X? Can you build it for that same price? And honestly, like, yes, you technically can, but you're going through some shady stuff to get there. So honestly, like if you can't do PC, definitely get the Xbox, but like PS5's on a whole different level. Like it's its own beast, it's its own genre, and you're just gonna have to get one. Yeah. But I will point out just a small little other bit of not so breaking news. Rumors, still rumors. It's not news, it's rumors. Uncharted 4 may be coming to PC, which could be interesting because IIRC, that is another PlayStation exclusive, yes. So if that's coming to PC, how many other PlayStation games do you think they port to PC? Do you think they do? Do you think it's something that they do in order to stay competitive with Xbox? Chaz, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I could see that happening, especially with all the recent ports that have come over from PS games to the PC. I wonder if PC is just going to be the central, like you can go either or. So that way not only, like, for example, let's say that there's a game that's exclusive to the PS5, right? But they port it over to the PC. That company's still making money off that. So they'll still do deals with Sony exclusively instead of Microsoft or whatever, you know? So I could see it going that way.
That's fair. That's a very fair take.
But I think it's important to point out too that like most of these games that have been ported, they're old. Yeah, these are years old games. Like every new Xbox game appears on PC same day, but like, you know, allegedly there's a Ghost of Tsushima port, you know, happening. Ghost of Tsushima came out last year?
2 years ago, I think.
Was it 2 years ago at this point? Yeah, I mean, even if it comes if it comes out this year, like that's still a 2-year-old game, you know. So I think Sony's totally going down the route of you know, they want to make as much money off the PS5 or PS4 release of the game as they can, and then once the sales like slump, they can port it over to PC and start building a new audience. Like I do wonder how many people that have played, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time, they played it on PC, or they played Death Stranding on PC for the first time. How many of those people decided to go and try and get a PS4 or a PS5 because they want to experience, you know, the next game? And I think that's like Sony's tactic here is creating a new, or bringing new gamers in that are just PC because they want to experience the game and not have to wait several years, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at how hard it's been to get a PS5 right now. Like, I want to play those games. Like, if they can port them over, which I'm not gonna get my hopes up for it. You know, like if it happens, cool. But you know, my PC is here. If it happens, you know, like I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. So, all right, we're definitely blowing through time here, man. It's going by a lot faster than I anticipated. I don't know if we're falling behind or if time's just moving faster, but we're gonna go ahead and move a little bit quicker through. I have one more piece of news or something else I want to talk about. I want your guys' take on it anyway. J.J. Abrams apparently writing a script for a Portal movie. Rumor has it it's likely going to follow the first Portal game with Shell. The only other interesting piece I saw to this was that fans are already calling for J.K. Simmons to reprise his role as the founder of Aperture Science. So, thoughts? Do you think this is a viable movie? Can they make this movie? Chaz, this may be your area of expertise here, Mr. Movie. Is that viable?
Well, so when Portal 2 came out years ago, whenever that was, there was a short film on YouTube that I think, what's his name? Dan Trachtenberg? Is that how you say his last name? Who is a filmmaker who did 10 Cloverfield Lane and all that. Did a short film on it, and dude, it's fucking cool. As a movie, I don't know how you would do it honestly, I think video games would serve better as a TV series than a film because there's so much you have to work with. So you're trying to condense, let's say the average length of a game is about 10 hours, right? Like just give or take, long games, maybe 20, short games, maybe 4, but like 10 hours is a fair amount of time for an average. How are you going to fit 10 hours of this video game into a 2-hour movie? Like how do you just scrunch it down so much when the world expects way more? Yeah, I don't know. They tried it with Assassin's Creed and it failed.
Total rhetorical question, but whatever, Jeremy, what are your thoughts? Is that a movie that you'd be interested in?
I don't know. Like I think about it, and like Portal 2 does have a lot more of a story than like Portal 1, but still, like the story's pretty light. Like the game really is just about puzzle solving. So I think if you wrote a movie that was maybe based around like GLaDOS or whatever, if you base it around GLaDOS and then like J.K. Simmons' character. So, you have flashbacks, you have like maybe current time period, and then like Chell is, off doing Portal things, I guess. I could maybe see it being a movie, but it just doesn't really seem like there's enough there. Like they'd have to write a lot of what seems like a lot of new story because Portal 2 is pretty light on story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they balance that. I mean, if we do get J.K. Simmons as the founder, though, again, I forgot the character already. I'm going to be honest, but I would want origin story at that point. I would want him just, why did they create this lab? Like really getting into it, really showing it. You can balance it with, with current events or whatever. But I honestly would say it's origin story at that point. But you need J.K. Simmons at that point, though. You know. Shout out Chaz, you're getting recognized.
Hey, Alan.
We love you. Great to have you with us. So, all right, so total distraction. Yeah, go ahead.
Just question real quick. Do you think the movie that would be best compared to Portal, would that be like Jumper from 2007? That awful Hayden Christensen movie.
Okay.
It's okay. It's a little campy.
I watching it as I was. I mean, it was almost 10 years ago at this point, right? So watching it as a teenager, that was a pretty fun movie. Like I enjoyed it. Watching it now, that was a terrible movie. It was bad acting across the board. Nonetheless, yes, I would say it'd have to be something similar, but more of an escape room situation. They're trying to escape from a building, not necessarily, or like I'm sure things will be tracking him down, but like a more enclosed versus him traveling the world and just running from one particular person. Yeah, same vibe. I'd agree. 100%. That's probably the closest you're gonna get.
That spells disaster.
Oh yeah. It is J.J. Abrams though. Like let's be honest here. He's still looking for a director apparently. Again, just according to the report I was reading. That may shift the focus, but it's still J.J. Abrams. Like it's gonna be at least. At least.
So, it is either gonna be Rise of Skywalker, or it's gonna be like Super 8 or something like that. It's hard to say with them.
Both of those are I
actually really liked Super 8, but Rise of Skywalker is, I don't know. I know this isn't Star Wars, but
no, it's cool. There's no I'll say we get off the train tracks, but there's really no tracks to begin with. We're just plowing and deciding what we do as we go. Like, who cares? Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so I do again time. I want to make sure that we can get to everything I want to get to here today. So I'm going to go ahead and give Jeremy a little bit of the floor. Wanted to talk a little bit about Subnautica. That's one that you recently did a review on the Below Zero. We'll throw this up here as well. So Subnautica Below Zero. Tell us a little bit about the game. We'd love to learn about that and how you portray, how you brought it up on your show. How did you portray that? Let's kind of give us the rundown.
Sure. So Subnautica Below Zero is kind of like a standalone chapter of the original game Subnautica. Subnautica is a single player open world survival game. It's like a light survival game, as I call it. You don't have to manage everything like you would in, say, like Fallout 76 or some of those other games. But you still have to manage like hunger, thirst, and health, and of course air, because as the name implies, you're underwater. So in the original Subnautica game, your ship crash lands on an alien planet that is almost entirely water. So everything you do takes place underwater. You need to explore caves. You need to harvest resources, and you kind of need to discover like the greater mysteries of this planet. There's a reason you landed on this planet, and eventually escape it. In Below Zero, you're playing a completely new character, and you're actually returning to the same planet a year later because you're trying to find like your sister who is involved with the company that you work for, and she's mysteriously gone missing. So Below Zero, it changes some things from the original game. Like you have to now deal with with heat because there is more. It's a Arctic climate, and there's more like on land segments and things like that. The games are frankly quite amazing for what they are. They're developed by indie developers, and the game's really affordable. Yet, like there's a lot to do. The game doesn't give you a lot of hints or direction about where to go. It just says the thing you need to go is in this general direction. And so you may have to spend hours and hours exploring through different cave systems trying to find the right objective. And on top of all that, everything in the ocean wants to kill you, just like our ocean. So there's a lot of things that you need to like balance. It's not just the survival elements. There's the exploration. There's the try not to die to sea creatures that are like imagine finding like a 100-foot kraken or something like that. You know, what do you? That's what the game like throws at you. So it's got like some scary moments in it. But I really like that. I like the concept. The game is gorgeous, and it's one I strongly recommend. And it's actually available on consoles as well. So no matter where you want to play it, you can play it, which is pretty neat.
It looks like an very interesting game. So my question is like, okay, I know you have to craft and everything with it, but the whole idea is that you're basically under, you know, the sea, whatever else, you're underwater. How are you crafting in that case? Do you like, are you bringing it onto the ship? Do you have to go up to the surface to craft? How does crafting work in this case?
So in both games, you have like some form of technology with you. You have in the first game, you have like a life pod that has like a basic crafting station on it. So you just have to go collect the materials, and it just more or less fabricates, you know, 3D prints, whatever you need. And in the second game, it's largely the same thing, but eventually you need to build a base. So there is base building involved too, which ticks yet another box of like a good survival game. So that way you can craft more advanced stuff. Eventually you'll need vehicles to be able to access the deepest parts of the game. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole gameplay loop is craft, survive, escape.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm going to throw this up here, Alan, as well. Talking about getting Subnautica on the Switch, is it worth the downgrade in graphics? I mean, you love the game. Is it worth the downgrade?
You know, I haven't seen it on the Switch, but I don't know. I can't imagine it'd be too much of a downgrade. Like, it's a good looking game, but it's also not the best looking PC game I've ever seen. I bet on the Switch it still looks pretty good, and I think the game is worth it. Like, I'm actually going to be traveling here in a week or two, and I'm going to bring my Switch with me, and I'm trying to decide what I want to play. Right now, a replay of the original Subnautica is on the list, but maybe Final Fantasy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's you did another Final Fantasy video on your channel as well. You know, again, excellent channel. I absolutely love your stuff there. So, okay, but Subnautica, especially the new one. What are some of the differences that they brought into this game, Below Zero versus the first one? Is there a you know, did they make it better? I guess, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, there are some notable gameplay changes. In the first Subnautica, you barely spent any time above ground. There are some like islands, but really like most of what you do is underwater. In Below Zero, they put a good chunk of the story on land, so you do need to spend more time on land. And my cat is climbing over because that's what she likes to do. So you spend more time on land, but they also made like small optimizations, like you can pin recipes, which seems like such a simple thing, but I think for like indie developers, you know, like things like that end up like pretty low on their priority list. Are you done?
I love it. I love it. Oh, they're so adorable.
Sorry about that.
Don't apologize for animals. We don't apologize for animals on this show. You'll get my dog in the background from time to time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, just like small tweaks like that, and they added in a new vehicle called like the Sea Truck, which is completely modular. It can be just a single small one-person sub. You can add storage, crafting, and a module that allows you to carry the other vehicle, which is kind of like a mech, like a suit or whatever. So really just like small things, but entirely new story. The on land mechanic, you can freeze to death, whereas underwater you worry more about oxygen. So no matter where you are, like there's still an element of survival to it, which is pretty fun.
So you can't get complacent at all.
No, you're pretty much always, and another thing too, I think, is like that the game is like always challenging from start to finish. You never feel overpowered. What's also unique about Subnautica is like in both games, you don't have weapons. You can't really fight back against the hostile creatures. And I think, and that's an intentional game decision. Like the game, like they want you, it's not a game about like killing things. It's a game about surviving. So most of the time, all you can do is run away. So that makes everything that much more scary. There's an amnesia like element to it.
Is there a okay? So say you do get attacked. I mean, some clips on your channel there. when you do get attacked, what is your escape method at that point? Then how are you actually able to run away if they just pop out of nowhere?
Well, so they didn't make the enemies in the game. They're not so aggressive that they'll like chase you from one end of the ocean to the other. They kind of have like a zone. So really, it's just like, get out of their zone or find a way to like sneak around them when they're not directly looking at you. Later on, you do get things to like help them stop attacking you, and that way you can like run away. But really, like it's just you running the whole time.
Gotcha. So, okay. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Chaz, let's bring you in a little bit here. You haven't had a chance to play Subnautica either. Is it is more of a survival game than an RPG, really? But is this a game that you've had any interest in? Any curiosity about it?
Well, survival games make me rage quit too often.
I know the feeling.
Same thing with Minecraft, dude. Like I don't like Minecraft for that survival element that you can do on there. So
okay,
it's a hit or miss, man. I don't know. I tried. What's that other survival game? Returnal. I mean, you try to survive on that and you fucking die, and then the whole level resets, and you're like, what? So I don't know. I'm up for the challenge, but sounds interesting. Like the vehicle mods and how is it multiplayer or
just single player?
Just single players. See, that'd be cool too if it was multiplayer to like build your vehicle to have more people fit in. That'd be cool. But I like
favorite. Oh, go ahead. No, keep going. Sorry.
No, you're good. I like indie developed games though. The last one I played was a few years ago. But it's the one where, what do you call it? Where they could travel through time, essentially. I don't know. I should have remembered that.
I mean, that does not narrow it. There's a wide spectrum here, traveling through time.
Yeah, no, I don't know. You could pause time, go back in time. I don't know. Anyway, so I appreciate indie games, but
I'm sure a shooter?
No, it was a drama. It was like a character-driven story. Life is Strange. That's what it's called. Life is Strange.
Oh yeah, Life is Strange.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, I know what you're talking about. All right.
I pitched that so awful.
it took some brain power to get there, but we got there, and that's the important part.
We got there.
We're gonna go ahead here. One last question before we move on to our main topic. What is your favorite? We're gonna go, since we're talking Subnautica for a moment here. What is your favorite survival game? What is your go-to if you get the opportunity?
So I'm kind of like Chaz. I also rage quit during survival games. So for me, it's like the survival games that I play, like I don't want to be like burdened by like survival. A game I think about quite a bit when I'm talking about survival games is called The Forest. I don't know if either of you two have played it, but basically, yeah, no, it's survival is a whole thing in that game. Like every day you wake up, you're like, all right, I need to go fill my water and then I need to start sterilizing it over the campfire so it won't be ready for a while. While I'm doing that, then I need to go like hunt for food. Then I need to go collect materials to make like arrows or whatever. And so like with your remaining 2 hours of daylight, it's like, all right, well, I guess let's try and advance the story a little bit. Like I think if the survival is like too hardcore, like it doesn't work for me. But I think Subnautica is like extremely well executed in that because it's not really burdensome. I can't really think of any other like survival games that I've played recently that are, I don't know, more hardcore like that. But I think one of them that kind of comes to mind is like Death Stranding, which is I know a walking simulator, but like there's a lot of survival elements to it. So I'd say probably Death Stranding is another really good one that comes to mind.
It's a great answer. Chaz, do you even have one that you've enjoyed, or did you rage quit them all? Because that is perfectly okay.
I rage quit them all, dude.
Yeah,
it's fair.
No, it's fair. I mean, survival games, you have to dedicate yourself to them. You really have to dedicate the time to it, and it's hard to do that.
Yeah, I like the elements that it introduces though. And I wonder if more video games introduce those elements. Because like I know like with like Red Dead 2, you're supposed to eat or whatever, or like you lose weight or whatever. And I often think like if Grand Theft Auto included real survival stuff, or like if you try to steal a car and it's empty on gas, what do you do? So I think that'd be fun to apply to those games. But full on survival, dude, like that's another level of skill I don't have.
There's like a certain level of immersion that's like too much. Like you don't want to steal a car with no gas.
I already struggle to survive every day, so
yeah, I would say my favorite survival game is probably real life, because that's a terrifying situation. The graphics are all right. I have to wear corrective lenses to make sure the graphics are okay. But once I get those on, things start to kind of calm down a little bit. I can see graphics are all right. And then you step outside and it's just boss battle after boss battle after boss battle. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, guys.
It's too hot, like right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we live in a procedurally generated world. Every day is different,
Everybody experiences it different. We're all just in an AR. Okay. So guys, here's my weirdest thought. Speaking of Matrix / everybody views the world different. What if you and I see different colors? So your blue is my pink, but because you're pointing at the color and saying this is blue, right? Like we're seeing different colors, but we have the same name for it. So in reality, my logo in the top right, though it's green and blue to me, like it's actually my pink and yellow to you.
But we associate that being, oh, dude.
I'm throwing Scott up here simply because I needed someone, and I don't even think he's commenting on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's not commenting on this. I need to laugh. I need to laugh. Yes, I do. I have air horns, and I don't have laughing anymore. Nope. Okay. It's okay. I still have hey listen, and that's all that matters. I haven't even played it once this episode yet. All right, y'all. All right, let's jump on topic here, guys. One last thing, we have our main topic at this point in time. We are talking Knockout City. Now, this game is the reason I chose this. You look at certain games like Among Us, Fall Guys. I want to throw Fortnite and Overwatch in there, but those are definitely more long-term games. It felt very fatty to me. It felt like a fad where, you're going to go in, we're going to start, we're enjoy it for a little bit, and then it's just going to disappear similar to the other games. So I'm like, let's get this in here. Let's actually, let's make sure we get an episode on it. Hence the reason why we're doing it today. But I had a chance to actually sit down and play this game, and it is stupid fun. It is so much fun, and I really wish I was getting paid to say this, but I'm not. It's fun. It is. All right, so Knockout City. Let me give you guys the basic rundown here. So it is a usually team based, third person, basically a dodgeball game. It's plain and simple. It's a dodgeball game. It's developed by Velen Studios, published by EA Originals, which is their kind of their indie developer platform, helping indie developers get up there. Velen Studios also, just as a fun fact for you guys, they developed the Mario Kart home circuit, the one where you kind of build the track at home, and yeah. So already they, that they have quality. Nintendo trusted them at that point. So nonetheless, all right. So anyway, and as I mentioned, it is basically a dodgeball game. You have multiple different types of balls. You have your standard ball that you're going to be able to throw at people. You're going to have you have a moon ball that helps you jump. You have a dynamite ball that it's a bomb that it's timed or on contact. So they really throw in a lot of different elements to this. As of currently, there are 5 maps and 6 different modes. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I only played Team KO. It's really all that I got into, but I did spend a majority of my time doing the tutorials. Fun fact, you do also get achievements for completing the tutorials and like a lot of XP bonuses. So if you get the chance, go through the tutorial. It's awesome. Nonetheless, all right, I digress. Moving on. So some of the different modes, Team KO, we also have like Diamond Dash, where you're just rushing around picking up diamonds to defeat the other team. So it does a good job of bringing in multiple different types of modes. Yeah, that's the game in a nutshell. I can't necessarily give too much more, because there isn't much more to it. We'll talk about the movement and the different types of throws and everything here momentarily, but throw this up from Alan as well. It really is fun. And one thing that I have to point out here as we get into the throwing of the ball, as we get into the dodging, into the, catching and kind of the rules of engagement here, it is 100% reactionary. Is that a word? Is reactionary a word?
I think that's a word.
Yeah.
Even more so, am I using it correctly here? I guess that's the better question. Anyway, yeah. So it's all about your reaction speed. Okay. So with dodgeball, as you start, you pick up a ball. You are able to lob pass it, or not lob pass it. Sorry, you're able to lob it. You are able to curve ball it. You're able to basically line drive it. What's the term I'm looking for here? Fastball. Basically fastball it straight at them. The goal is, if you do not have a ball, you can catch it. You can also ram the ball away, and you're basically just trying not to get hit by it. When you have the ball, you're trying to throw off their groove. So, for example, you have your curve ball. You throwing the ball back and forth. Everybody's catching it. It's starting to charge up. You throw a curve ball, and suddenly that timing that they're used to catch the ball is thrown off. So it ends up they go to catch the ball. They're too soon. It hits them. The entire thing is trying to time your catch, time your throw, time everything to how fast the ball is going, right? So it is all about reaction as we get into this, but movement. So you guys had a chance to at least watch some videos on it. Haven't had a chance to necessarily play yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what have you guys seen from this? What if you had to? What piques your interest? Is this a game that you guys would even be interested in playing based off what you've seen?
Yes, but the price drove me away.
Okay. Yeah. Let me ask you this: are you playing on your PS5?
Yeah, dude.
Good. You don't deserve the game. All right.
Mr. Moneybags over here can't buy a $20 game.
In fact, I do want to throw this one out there. It is available through EA Play, which is available through Game Pass. If you guys really want to know how I've been playing this game, I have Game Pass. Cool little feature. It is free there. Mm-hmm. So you and your PS5 don't deserve this.
It's also available on Origin as well. If you have that subscription. Yes.
EA Origin and Xbox Game Pass with EA Origin. So gold. Or how much is it on the PlayStation Store?
It's $20.
Yeah. Okay, that's on Steam. Not terrible. At least it's not a $60 this is a whole game. Okay, $20 is a fair price.
Maybe. Here's the thing, dude.
It looks a little light for $20. Not gonna lie.
It does.
It's a little bit light, but especially because they do have a store where you get holocrons and have to spend them, and you can get your cosmetics, similar to Rocket League, whatever else. The difference being, it's super easy to get those coins. It's super easy. So you're always feeling like you're progressing and always moving up and always getting better and unlocking things. So, I mean, $20 for the initial game with the amount of cosmetics that you can naturally unlock, I don't think it's that unfair. I'll be honest. Chaz, you had something to say though. Go ahead. I totally just, bombarded your stuff there.
Oh, you're okay. From the trailer and from all the gameplay, it looks like a Fortnite-based game where you're just jumping around and trying to defend yourself. And Fortnite is free and it has microtransactions. That's how it makes its money. This game has microtransactions, but it's $20 for 5 or 6 levels, whatever it is.
I haven't even seen where I can buy those though with the microtransactions. I've been through the store and they don't make it easy to go purchase these holocrons or anything. So it's not yes, it has the microtransactions, but it feels like they're kind of hiding it. And I don't want to defend EA by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, because EA is guilty as fuck for transactions.
Fuck for that. I don't want to defend them, but this one feels, I will point out, this one feels less money grabby. Okay, I'll give them that much. nonetheless, let's talk about the game itself. So I mentioned some of the different abilities that you can do. Let's start with your basic defense. Well, no, let's start with offense first because it makes everything a little bit more sense. The game doesn't have an aiming system. Basically, once you initiate the I want to throw the ball, it auto locks on to whichever opponent happens to be in your view, or whichever one is closest, whichever one you can hit. You don't have to aim, you don't have to target, which makes the curve balls and the lob balls and everything just a little bit more intentional. You're not having to focus on like where you're actually throwing the ball. You lock on, you hit the right trigger and the X, and it's off, it's gone, you know. So it makes things interesting, and it does kind of simplify everything, and you're not trying to focus on where you're aiming. Kind of takes you out of it just a little bit. You can just kind of spam, and eventually you're going to hit something. But that's where your defense really comes into play. Okay, so defense, you can catch the ball. The different levels of catching just based off of your reaction, how close the ball is to you by the time you actually hit it. You can get your perfect, you're good, and it helps build up the power of the ball. But you can also dodge, and this is the part that I find most interesting about the dodging. Is it's not just dodging. You can use it as a ram feature. So if you have a ball that's coming at you, you don't have the reaction speed to actually or if your natural reaction is to dodge versus catch, you can dodge toward the ball and it will just knock it away. So you're not limited to having a ball in your hand to knock it. You just basically evade forward and ball gets knocked out of the way. So really interesting defense there. You also do have your catch, like I mentioned. That's 100%, all 110% reaction. It's insane. It is difficult. You have your different lob shots. Like I said, lob shots. You got your charged shots that I kind of mentioned, but you also have your ultimate shots, which really starts to get complicated when we move into the next part that I'm going to talk about. Honestly, I'm just talking for the sake of talking. Y'all can just keep listening. Yay! Anyway, all right. So where was I? I know the term I was even looking for. Y'all, my brain is
ultimate shots.
Okay. Ultimate shots. Yes, thank you, my good man. All right, so ultimate shots. I haven't had a chance to dive too deep into these, but you do have the option to essentially throw a bomb. They have their normal bomb shots, but your ultimate, you're launching up in the air. It's completely controlled. You choose where it lands. Think a controlled Diva Nerf. Diva Nerf. So you launch it up in the air, it comes down, it explodes everywhere. Essentially, it's that, but you control it the entire way. Okay. So goal, of course, getting as many knockouts as possible. That really adds, again, another element to it. But what gets really interesting is you can become a ball yourself. Roll up into a ball, you become a ball, pass it between your team, and then magically you become an ultimate. And then you get to control where you land. So you're popping down anywhere that you're wanting to and exploding everything that you want. It's insane. Like the combos that you have to do to get there are crazy. Go ahead, Chaz. Yeah,
can the other team catch you if you're the ball and throw you away?
I don't know.
Because that would suck, dude.
That is okay. Because so they don't bring it up in the training. What happens if the enemy catches you? They teach you how to supercharge yourself so that you become an ultimate. They don't. I don't think they teach you or say what happens. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't been caught. I use the ball mechanism to roll around the map. That's all I do. I'm just traveling around the map like it. Like it's a little bit faster that way. But like, I kind of want to do it now.
I will say the video that I watched on Knockout City, the YouTuber made it a specific point to note that if you are the ball, someone can still technically catch you, and then throw you off the edge. Which is,
they do tell you how to break out of being a ball. They kind of go into in the training. They at least teach you the process, but they say it with your teammate as well. That's interesting. The training is very in depth, and it's a pretty good training if I'm honest. But yeah, I don't think it answered that.
Yeah, the game actually seems like
I'm glad
complex. like the different balls, the ultimate thing, the charging up. Like it doesn't seem as like one dimensional as I think it initially did, but I still don't know if that's $20.
It isn't as dimensional as you think it is. And I'm going to loop back to the Fortnite that you mentioned there. Yes, it's third person. Yes, it's cartoony. Customization even feels very Fortnite, but it's not as you stand a fair chance. It doesn't matter your skill level. You stand a fair chance in this game. And I think that's part of what makes it more fun than, say, Fortnite. Because Fortnite, yes, they have their tiers now, but Fortnite is, if you have not been playing this particular game since the very beginning and know how to, what's crank 90s, I think is that still a term for Fortnite? I don't know. If you didn't learn how to build, you land, there's an Eiffel Tower that gets built up immediately in front of you. You have no combat and you just immediately die. Like, you actually stand a chance in this game. And even better, you know how long the games are going to be. So Team KO is 3 rounds, best of 3. First 1 to 10 KOs wins, or there's I believe it's a 5-minute like match time. So whoever has the most after 5 minutes. So you know how long these matches are actually going to be. You can hop in and play for however long you want and get a few wins without feeling like, oh, I'm just going to drop down and die and there's no point in playing this game. Yes, the games are going to be 5 minutes each, but that's because I'm losing, not because I'm necessarily winning and having fun. So that is one other thing I will point out. If you are on a time crunch, it's worth jumping in for a few minutes at least.
So is it possible that the rest of your team gets knocked out, but you're the only one, but the other team has all the people? Could that one person still somehow survive and knock out the rest of the team, like John Wick style?
If the team is not coordinated, 100%.
Dude, I want to go John Wick with the dodgeball. Bam!
Because like I said, it's not about you throwing the ball. It's like, you want to keep them on their toes, change up how you're throwing it, whatever else. But it's about your reaction time to catching the ball. So if they're coordinated, they're going to throw all 3 balls at you at the same time. But in reality, if they're throwing it, if it just as they get balls, you can catch them and throw them back without, like, it's just a matter of catch, throw, catch, throw, catch, throw. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You could dominate 1v3. I will point out, however, Team KO, you do respawn. So you have basically 2 lives. If you get hit by the ball once, you're at half life. Get hit again, that's when you officially respawn. It's only a 5-second respawn time, and you're generally put pretty close to your team. So you're not, it's not quite the same as dodgeball where, you go sit out. Once you catch it, someone comes back in, which actually could be a really interesting mode though, but would be so infuriating. Like, I'm thinking Mario Kart, what's the Renegade Roundup? Like, like that type of, like, anyway, sorry, I digressed again, but I can see that.
Do you think there'll be costume, because you know how Fortnite's kind of done costumes with pop culture? Where it has like a lot of characters or whatever. Do you think this game will incorporate dodgeball, a true underdog story characters, so you can play as like Pirate Steve?
I thought that. Here's what I want. This is the only thing that I want, and all I want is an homage. I just want a reference.
I want to be Blazer. Can I be Blazer?
I want skins are one thing. What I want is one ball that is a wrench.
Yes.
All I want. It's just a standard ball. It has the same hitbox as a ball. You catch it like a ball.
Undodgeable.
That's like the ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't dodge it. It always hits.
It always hits. It knocks you out immediately, launches you across the map. I'm so here for this. If they ever want, this is what I want. This is all I want is a wrench. All I want.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right. It is pretty good. I'll go ahead and give my final thoughts on it. 100%. It really is a reactionary game. I would personally vote if you get into it and you actually play it and you're going to play it for more than just a weekend and you want to do it in your spare time, it's worth $20. It's not worth $20 to try it though. It's not like it's not a $20. Like if you go in and you don't think that you're going to play it more than a few times, don't purchase it. Like try it out through Game Pass if you can. Try it out if it's on a discount even. But if you think that you're going to go in and it looks like a fun game that you could put a lot of time into, like Overwatch, Fortnite, Spellbreak, any of those games where you just it's unlocking things, Rocket League. If you think you can put in the dedication, yeah, it's worth $20. It's easily worth $20.
Sure.
But super fun. Like I said, focus if you can. Don't focus on where you're throwing the ball. Focus on catching it. Focus on dodging. That's all. That's really all that it is. Those are my thoughts. That's my opinion. I like it. It's a fun game. 6.5 out of 10. Okay. All right, y'all. I think that does it for our time. We'll let that finish out. I do think that does it for our time. I know the last little part there is just me taking over and telling you guys why you need to buy this game. Anyway, but I thoroughly enjoyed having you guys on. We're going to take a minute. I want to just kind of recap a little bit here. Also, Scott, of course, saying looks super fun. It really is. I want to recap, make sure that everybody knows exactly where to find you guys. So, Chaz, one more time, where can our viewers find you? Where are you at?
If you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at your boy Chazzy, it's pretty straightforward. And I have links to all the podcasts that I'm on at those profiles. So a lot of being, dude.
Yes. Linktree is your best place for all things Chaz. Jeremy, Mr. Duke, the Duke himself, where can our viewers find you?
I'm mostly on Twitch and YouTube, both at DukeMumford. I do have a Twitter, but I mostly use it to rage at video game companies for poor game design. Like there's a Mass Effect tweet on there. But yeah, Twitch and YouTube, I'd say, are probably the best places to find me.
There it is. Again, I've loved listening to both of your guys' channels. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here today. All right, guys, before we go anywhere, though, I am going to go ahead and plug a couple things. First off, check out our merch store, another link tree there for you, Gaggle of Geeks. You can find our shop, our channels, everything. Again, we just surpassed 1,000 followers on Instagram, 500 on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for everything. I'm gonna, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna do it. I've been really nervous to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Okay. If anybody is actually watching this and is interested, if you send me a picture of you, send it here. If you have a button mashing or Gaggle of Geeks merch, take a picture, send it into the email address there, gaggleofgeekshow@gmail.com, and I will make sure that there is a segment to include any pictures that anybody sends me. So please go check out the merch. If this doesn't work, it doesn't work. If nobody takes a picture, nobody sends it in, but I'm curious. Send it in. I can get you guys on the show. We'll feature a merch segment. So anyway, pulled the trigger on that one. That was terrifying as can be. I was so nervous to do it. So we're just gonna blow right through it. Again, check it out. Patrick Beatty, of course, we talked about him. Please make sure to go follow him. He puts in a lot of work, and we want to make sure to thank him for that. Last thing, it is, and you'll notice from my hat, it is officially Pride Month, y'all. I know we focused on mental health last month. It is officially Pride, and if you cannot tell from my backdrop, we are 110% LGBTQIA plus. Super positive. This is a really big month for us. So especially when it comes to our video game counterparts, right? Those of us in the LGBTQIA plus community that want to play video games, we love you. Happy Pride. Please stay safe. Check it out. There's actually a few video games. There is a Pride. Oh man, I already forgot the name of it and I had it written down. It's a free game. Main character is trans and it is free this month. And as soon as I remember it, I will be off the air by that point. So I'm so sorry. But yeah, anyway, happy Pride, y'all. Just wanted to make sure to give a quick shout out there. So anyway, I think that's everything. I think that covers it. I'm NatesLegend. Y'all, please take care of your mental health. And as always, keep gaming.